Hi everyone, and welcome to the Free Range Diva. This is going to be the second in the what I like to call the Free Range Report, where I come across some interesting newsy items that are not enough to warrant their own video, that I can put them in one video for you, and hopefully it makes things more efficient. We're going to start talking about some news in my life. On July 8th, Sunday morning, my best buddy and constant companion for the last 16 years passed away. Duffy was comfortable, it was peaceful, and he was ready to go. And I always have said that when Duffy wants to do something, you forget about it. There's just no way you're going to stop him. And it was beautiful. This is the first time I'm sitting down in front of a camera to talk to you since it happened, because I had, as it coincidentally it turned out, I had 3 videos pre-taped and ready to go. So it's still, I'm heartbroken, as you can imagine. Duffy was not my first dog. He was my third, but he was different. He was feisty and smart, always figuring out stuff, things that he wanted to do. He was independent, fiercely independent, as long as he knew that I was somewhere in the vicinity. He was my constant, my guidepost, and I'm still coming to terms with the fact that he's not here. He was mine, and I was his, because he wrapped his little white paw around my heart and just grabbed on and wouldn't let go. I miss him more than I can say, and I will always love him, and I will always be Duffy's mom. And then last week, I found out that 2 of my close friends are going through tough times right now as well. One is still reeling from the loss of her son, and the other was confronted by a very serious cancer diagnosis. So the last few weeks there have been a lot of tears and a lot of sadness. How they say, not as secret spies, but in battalions. And I wish I had the wisdom to say to say something. But I don't. I just know that you have to acknowledge the pain and let it have its way. So I'm asking you to bear with me for the next little while until I return to my normal, fun, and joyful self. A large source of my joy is gone, and it's going to take me a little while to figure out how to go on without it. But right now I'm just feeling unfocused and diminished. Nevertheless, I enjoy sitting down to do these videos. I enjoy presenting things that hopefully will be helpful to you. So I'm going to continue to do that as best I can, and I hope that you will stick with me. And remember me in your prayers, and maybe say a prayer for all those out there that are going through pain right now that we may not necessarily know about. So the theme Today is going to be healing, I guess. And the first thing that I want to talk to you about is something called forest bathing. Forest bathing is not new in our culture. It's actually something that has been practiced in Japan for years, where it's called, and I don't want to mispronounce this, so I'll probably write it, but I believe it's called shinrin-yoku, which literally means forest bath. It's a slow walk in the woods, and the idea is not to be hiking, but it's to experience the forest with all of your 5 senses. It's a mindful practice in which you engage the forest with your sight and touch and sounds and smells and the tastes and your taste. You literally want to submerge yourself in experiencing a living and breathing forest. And the reason why this practice has been studied and has been done for so long is because of the health benefits that, aside from the fact that you're absorbing all of these negative ions from the forest environment, you are, and I want to read these, you are inhaling the beneficial bacteria, the essential oils that are plant-based, the negative ions. All of these interact with your gut bacteria to strengthen your immune system. It also reduces anxiety, decreases blood pressure, increases energy, and your natural overall sense of well-being. I'm going to link an article written by David Suzuki about the benefits of doing this. You can do it anywhere. You can do it in a group, or you can do it alone. And many major cities have groups sort of that are led that allow you to go out into the forest. And I, next month, am going on a vacation to Vancouver Island, mostly because I've wanted to go there for years, and while I'm there, I am going to go on a guided tour of forest bathing. Now, you don't have to fly to the ends of the continent to experience, an old-growth forest. You can go, if you can find someplace near you. There are books that show you how to do it. In fact, I will link one because I just loaded one down onto my Kindle, and I'm very excited to start reading it. I will link all that info below, so that if you want to read more about it, you certainly can. And if it sounds like something that might be interesting that you might want to do, let me know. The next thing I want to talk to you about is yoga is back in my life. For those of you that may not know, I had a back injury last year. And earlier this year, I don't know what I did, but somehow I managed to re-injure it, and I had to go back on medication because I was having uncontrollable leg and back spasms, paralysis. You get the idea. So I'm happy to say that after a couple of months, I was able to go off the medication, and once I did, I was at a loss to figure out what I could do to deal with the residual pain. So I have started to do yoga again, and I enjoy doing something called Namaste yoga, which you can find it, I'm sure, on some channel from your local cable company. But they also have some videos on YouTube, so I will like them. But the reason that I will link them. The reason I enjoy the Namaste is because you move through yoga poses with breath. So there isn't go into a pose and stagnate while you hold it and breathe. That tends to create anxiety in me. I prefer to actually continue to move and to breathe with the movement. The problem is that I first started doing this several years ago, and I didn't know anything about yoga at the time, and Namaste really is not for beginners, and as a result I ended up injuring myself twice. So I stopped doing it and instead enrolled in a class and started studying with a teacher for 2 years, and I learned how to actually do yoga and adapt it so that, you know, to my needs, so that I don't injure myself. And so I started doing Namaste again with that knowledge, and this time it's been a really pleasant experience. I'm finding my way back into my old body again. I'm starting to feel more at ease and more confident in my movements, because when you have issues where your leg can suddenly go numb and you lose all feeling in it and all control of it without any warning, you know, you become afraid to walk anywhere, to put any weight on your leg. And so I am now starting to feel more like I want to feel in my body, much more confident. Now, if you are new to yoga or have never tried it before, I can recommend a YouTube channel called Yoga with Adrien. I have done 3 of her workouts, one for specifically for back pain, which actually did not work very well for me at all. It caused a lot of pain and tension in my back. However, I have also done her workout for seniors, and she also has some beginners workouts that I have found very easy to do, and she does take the time to help you to adapt you know, the practice to your own needs, whether that means maybe you don't get down on the floor, maybe you do the practice from a chair, or whatever it is that you might need to do. So I'm going to link her channel. It's really popular here on YouTube. Most bloggers who do yoga always talk about Yoga with Adrien. So I think you will enjoy it if you want to check it out. And I will also link the Namaste channel in case you do have some history with yoga and you want to see what that's all about. Next up, I want to give you an update on my use of collagen. Back at the end of April, I started supplementing 5 grams of this Vital Proteins collagen peptides. I was taking it every day. I would put it initially in smoothies or cereal, and then I found it easy enough to just put a half a scoop, which is what 5 grams is, into my coffee in the morning. I'll link the video where I talk more about this, but it is very easy to take because it dissolves in pretty much anything, liquid or, like I said, in smoothies, juice, tea. So I wanted to update you on how it's been going. And so I can say that after about 3 weeks, I started to notice a diminishing in the pain in my back. Now, the pain wasn't horrible, but it was just that sort of nagging, you know, you're aware of it kind of situation. And yeah, about 3 weeks into it, I started noticing that pain was starting to diminish. By week 4, it was pretty much gone. I have been on it consistently ever since, and you can see that I'm almost done with this tub, and yeah, I rely on this now for my for everything, really. One of the reasons I think that I'm able to do yoga and do it successfully is because I've been taking this. It has helped me to do the daily things that I needed to do, bending over, picking things up, moving things around without fear. And although I'm very careful, I haven't re-injured my back, and as I said before, I am starting to feel like I'm back in my old body again. Okay, so my camera cut off. I don't know how far I got, but I'm going to pick it up with the traditional foods. And if it's a weird cut, I apologize. Collagen has been great. Yeah, so I want to talk about a traditional foods blog. It's called Intentionally Domestic: Mindful Choices for Food, Home, and Family. And it's written by a North Carolina mother of 2. And it has a lot. She's put a lot of information there about what it is, how, you know, how to eat traditionally, which is the way that I eat. I eat a traditional foods diet. How to, you know, the ingredients, sourcing of the ingredients, preparation. There are a ton of recipes that she includes. But the reason I am singling this blog out is because her story of how she restored herself to health was so compelling. She had years of undiagnosed celiac disease that literally almost took her life. She had health problems that included PCOS, food allergies, obesity, adrenal fatigue, and heavy metals contamination. But it was the celiac that was keeping her unable to, she was, you know, like dropping weight. She had no energy. She could barely get up. She was sick all the time. And literally almost died before finally, just by accident, she stumbled on the problem. The story is so compelling because celiac often goes undiagnosed for years, and it's doing damage to your body daily. And so I'm going to link that story. I'm going to link directly to her story, and then you can, you know, explore other parts of the blog. Her recipe index includes ways that you can eat gluten-free or dairy-free, or, you know, just allergy-free, which is, you know, important for me because I have a corn allergy. She also talks about, you know, how she brought herself back to health. The celiac was the key, and once that was under control, she was able to detox the heavy metals and, you know, get her adrenals back to working properly. So it is a fascinating story. It's a wonderful blog. It reads very easy. She has a great writing style, and I highly recommend it. And then the last thing is just a little bit of whimsy. It's not particularly healing, but I thought you might be interested in hearing that the Brady Bunch house is on the market. Yes, the Brady Bunch house is a real house, and it was built in 1959. It's in Studio City, California. It is 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2,477 square feet, and is on the market for just under 1.9 million, which is actually pretty darn good for Studio City. The Brady Bunch house actually is the second most photographed house in the country, after the White House. So if you love that show and you love nostalgia, I'm going to link the Zillow listing for it, and you can, if you want, you can take a look and peruse the pictures of the Brady Bunch house. All right, everyone, that's going to wrap it up for today. I thank you so much if you made it this far. I don't have words to tell you how grateful I am that I have this ability to talk to you, that you're out there and that you can communicate back with me, that there is so much caring and sharing that goes on this channel. It really has become a lifeline for me. So I thank you. If you would like to subscribe, I would love it. If you'd like to give this video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate that too. If you want to leave me a comment, of course, I love reading and talking to you. So yeah, I guess until I see you again, everyone, I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you again very soon.